how I like to roll. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me and my amazing friend, Linda Rizzoli.
Hello, everyone.
So, what's up with breasts? What's up with breasts?
What's up with breasts?
Breasts, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Linda and I we're actually up at Big White, this beautiful Airbnb up at the mountain near where I live in Kelowna, BC, Canada. And we're having this awesome conversation about a body process that we know, the facelift, and talking about like wanting to run facelift on my breasts, and like this whole conversation of breasts started to come up. Hello. Can you see? Here.
There, yes.
Hello. And it was cool because the moment we started to put our attention on it, we had this like, it wasn't just us, our breasts, our bodies. We started to have this like kind of global awareness. Yeah.
It was really cool.
It was really cool. And then it was like, should we facilitate this topic? Because there's so much here. There's so much up with breasts, like more than I ever imagined.
Right? Yeah. I have this whole life, I have had this female body. And my breasts have been, I'm going to say, at the forefront for me for a lot of that. And so I've always had all these points of view, all of what other people's opinions and what I expect, what they expect, what the culture expects. It's all been, I've been swimming in all of this my whole life and not really knowing what's true for me, what's my reality. And so for years, Cassy, I have been saying, boy, we should do a class on breasts. Like, we should talk about this. We should, like, what kind of conversation and what could we change about this? And I would say this in various conversations. I'd end up talking with other people about this. And everybody would just say, like, yeah, that's a really good idea. The world could really use that. And I dropped that into the conversation when Cassy and I were like being so vulnerable and perceiving all of this around the world. And Cassy was just like, yes. And then at some point she's like, please, let's do this. Let's do it. And I'm like, finally. So I can't believe here we are. The space is finally opening up. The time is here and now. What is really possible here?
Wow. Yeah. So this is your fault.
Who, me?
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it's so interesting when you're aware of something, and then the space opens up, these people come together, and it's like, I grew up, my mom's an artist, and so she was always painting breasts all over the place. Like, she loved painting breasts, and it just became something like it's just a normal conversation to me to talk about breasts, to talk about nipples, to talk about areolas and all that stuff. And I didn't realize how bizarre that was.
Yeah.
To just open conversations about that.
No, Cassy, I have horrible news that you might not know, but maybe you're weird and different.
I know. Hello, everyone joining us. Jess and Alyssa and Usama and Claire and Pamela. Hi, everyone. To Suzette. Thank you for joining us for this conversation about breasts.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to hear more about your story, and then I'll share mine. But what's it like for you?
I like that. I think we grew up. I did not grow up with what you're talking about, with this open, visually and an open conversation about breasts. I was the opposite. In a lot of ways, it's like, cover it up. I grew up in a very physical world, like physical work was a big part of our life. So that's kind of often more male feeling. So I wanted to like be the boy and be the son and work hard and be strong. And then, you know, I started developing breasts. You know, I'm a 14-year-old little gangly colt of a thing. And I start developing breasts and I was like, I don't know what to do with them. I have a brother, I have a dad. I started getting judgment about how I was in the house and how I dressed and just walking around casually. And at the same time, I was kind of aware of the potency of them. And I would really just like kind of like play with that a bit and see what buttons I could push with how I dressed, what I wore, how I show up in the world. And so it was like potent and awkward, and they were too small and then they're too big. And so it was all these different points of view, but they have definitely been a trademark of mine. It's like something that people identified with me throughout high school, throughout college, and on, that, oh, Linda has breasts.
She has them, everyone.
She has them. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's, and it's interesting to, you know, what would be really cool is to hear like the breast journey,
right?
From, you know, women's breast journeys. Cause I know a friend of mine that, you know, created Beyond Breast Cancer. I know women that have, they call them, and this is a way to self-judge, is like itty bitty breasts, they call them. Like, it's this way of diminishing them. And if you can judge them before someone else can, if they call out the obvious judgment, then someone won't bring it up. And then I know women with very large breasts and like all the shapes, like all the different possibilities of breasts.
Yeah.
And in fact, the perfect lipstick color is the color, Jess, on mine.
I didn't know this.
I'm going to research this now. So can you be in a store and just be like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to head into my bathroom after this and be like, oh, what do I got in my drawer? What's going to work here? Thank you, Jess.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So what was your story, Cassy?
Yeah. So I developed really early.
Yeah.
Like grade 7, grade 6. And when most women, they come like rocket ships, right? That's what they call them. At least that's how they teased me. And I never, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. I didn't have a bra or anything. So I started to wear the biggest t-shirts I could. I learned to start to like try and walk like this because I was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, before any of the girls in my school were developing breasts. So there was always this thing in my world of trying to hide them, but they were not willing to be hidden. My breasts have always been like, hello, I'm here. When I was breastfeeding, I had enormous breasts, and there was nothing I could do to hide it, you know? And then I would even be in access classes and people would be like, I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by your breasts. And I'd be like, what? So there was a constant thing where I was in a battle, constant battle to hide my breasts as they were unhideable.
Yeah.
When I embraced, I was like, you know what? Breasts, I love you. You're awesome. You like to be seen. You like to be shown up. You want all this attention. Okay. And when I stopped defending and avoiding, I have had so much ease and joy and pleasure. And you know, like that teasing, that like what you were talking about, like I never engaged in that until I actually received my breasts as part of my body?
Oh, there is so much. That is like, how many of us actually kind of identify our breasts as something, as a separate object. They're not just a part of this ecosystem that is the body that we're living in.
Yeah.
They're like their own different characters walking out in the world.
I know some women that they actually have named each breast.
Yeah.
Like they gave them their own identity rather than that. Ecosystem is such a beautiful way to describe it. You know, the landscape. It's a landscape. It's the earth. It's you know, the rolling hills on your body. My identity growing up. Oh, Jess says, just take a picture and feel awkward while picking up the right color in the store. And Alyssa says, my identity growing up was first my breast, then me. Oh.
You know what I have often said? My vibe growing up was that my breasts walked into the room first.
I think that's what she's, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just acknowledging now the gift her breasts are. Oh, that's really beautiful. I think that's part of why you and I wanted to come here today is what would women be like with their bodies if they acknowledged, well, all of it, but breasts included as a gift?
Yeah, I had worked so hard my whole life to have, like, I had these negative judgments of them. They're too small. They don't, you know, you're in the locker room in junior high, they don't look like that girl's there or that girl's there. And then they're too big. They're the wrong shape, like they don't fall the right way. So I had really only knew how to relate to them through the lens of judgment. I have the wrong breasts. How can I get the right breasts?
Wow. You know what else just hit me when you said that? Okay, so growing up, I mean, it's appropriately so. It's not legal to show teenage breasts, right? Like if you're looking on magazines, you'll see a woman with like her cleavage showing or maybe almost nipple. Like so growing up, you'd see that on the cover of a magazine, but they're always a woman.
I hadn't actually realized this, Cassy.
Yeah, I just realized this when you were talking. So now, me as a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, that's how I think they're supposed to look.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because that's my only identification of women's breasts. And when they obviously don't look that way, I'm wrong. My body's wrong. My breasts are wrong. What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? I think that was a question I asked my breast often. Why are you doing this to me?
Yes.
Yeah. Because there's not a lot of, you can't pick up a book and flip through and look at all these beautiful tween breasts, these teenager breasts.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's 18 or older.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that psychology? Go ahead.
It's just reminding me of a trip that I got to do. Like, we are from Canada. So Canada is cold and like we cover up. It's like part of the culture for various reasons, right? And I did a trip to Asia and I was in Korea, and they have these Korean spas where the women on this side, men on that side, and you walk in and you're in this huge locker room, and of every age. There's the 12-year-old and there's the 80-year-old, and every shape and size of body and every shape and size of breast. And I wanted to just cry, and I wanted to be an artist like your mom to capture all of this, because it was so healing to have a visual of everybody's different.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Not photoshopped, not made perfect, not, cosmetically enhanced or changed, just
Yeah.
Just the landscape of all these incredible bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, here's a few. Yeah. So Jess said, things got weird with my point of view about breasts after breastfeeding. Still different from it. Yeah.
Whole topic right there. Hey.
I think we're going to do close to Mother's Day. I think we're going to do another Facebook Live because, yeah, how many points of view do women have? Oh man, yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah.
It is a
Wait a
whole
minute, I was going in.
It's maybe not just you and me. Hey, Cassy,
Yeah.
maybe other people.
I think there's a gift in having that conversation as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you want to say something?
No, go ahead. I can't see these, so.
Okay. So Lisa said, it's Lisa D. I love Lisa. I had a client who hated her breasts and was going for implants. I asked her to start feeling them and giving them love daily. She chose that, and now she loves her breasts without implants. I've always been a bigger breast lady and fucking love it. Yes.
Gosh, I fucking love that.
Like, more of that.
Yes, please.
What's the landscape of your body? That would be a fun conversation. Yeah. That's how I see when I'm really being me, and I look at my body or anyone's body, I see it like the earth. Yeah. And that's part of like this graphic, this earthy kind of graphic is, you know, it's rolling hills, it's valleys, it's beautiful crevices. And I would never look upon like a meadow and be like, you know, that one hill is a little bit larger than the other hill. I don't know if it's pretty.
No, I don't really dig it. It's not like those hills over there.
Yeah, they're better hills.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
We had this conversation where we actually got together, and you mentioned we got to play with these energies, this body process of the energetic facelift. And ever since then, this class started bubbling, and I have just privilege. I made the ask in my life to have the facelift energy more present. So I've got to receive, I've got to gift. I facilitated a class on the weekend, and I got up the next morning, and it's just like I caught myself in the mirror. I had like on a really fitted shirt and some really tight leggings, and I just caught myself in the mirror. And it's not that I have changed the landscape physically, but I was able to glimpse it just exactly as it was, those hills, those rolling hills. And I just had this well of gratitude and appreciation for what it is right now in this 10 seconds.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. And if you look at creating your body and walking through the world with that, it's a different way of living.
Totally. I'm having some weird things happening with my audio, so but it's totally different. It's not having the right like implant. Oh, it's receiving what you have.
Yeah. And receiving what you have and creating. Like creating with your body, creating with your breasts, you know, like that fun, that play, that pleasure, and we're definitely gonna have that breast feeding conversation because that there's and the season of your breast, the season of your body. Like I look at, like I go back to the earth, right? And there's seasons and there's different things going on at different times based on what your body is aware of. Your body's aware of the future. It's creating for the future. You can co-create with it, or you can do what I did and judge it and avoid it and resist it.
Yeah. Try as hard as you can to lock them out, but they won't behave. Cassie's breasts would not behave.
Imagine, well, wow, imagine being out of control with the gift. Oh, we're echoing now. With the gift, the invitation, and the sexualness that your breasts can be. Ooh. Okay, I just realized the time. Is there anything else you want to say? Because we promised ourselves not to be on here too long.
Right. Just why are we having these conversations, Cass?
Yeah. Well, after we started chatting, and what's really cool is Linda and I both love Symphony of Possibility, the Symphony of Possibility energies. And a lot of, as we were running the process, a lot of those energies were actually coming up. And I started to perceive truly a symphony of possibility for women in regards to breasts. And what could we, if we were to come together with women, and we could all just be vulnerable and look at the possibilities.
Yeah.
To strip away the judgment, to unlock the things that have been locked in, what would be possible for bodies? And yeah. And so from there, Lynn and I were just like, let's do this. Let's facilitate a class. It's just, so far, it's just going to be a one-off, a one-time, a pop-up. Who knows what the future holds? And we just wanted to call it the breast class. And we'll just go wherever you guys want to go.
All bodies welcome.
All bodies welcome. All shapes.
Bodies. Yeah.
All ages, all sizes.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Little 13-year-old Linda is welcome. 51-year-old Linda, bring it.
Bring it. So yeah, we wanted to invite you all to this class and see what's possible together.
I love it. Tapping into the possibilities, not trying to fix the problem. What is the gift with breast? Like, what is really up with breasts?
Yeah. Actually, I just want to say something. What you just said is so brilliant, because it was actually when I stopped trying to fix my breasts is when I really started to adore them and be so grateful and enjoy them more than I
have. And how has that unleashed your potency into the world?
So much. Yeah. I don't feel like when I walk into a room, like talked about breasts first, that I felt that way too, but I would do this to try and compensate. I was always trying to pull back and pull back from the potency of my breasts as well. And now being like open and being willing to be me physically, energetically in the world, it's completely changed for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay. And now I just figured out how to see the comments, Cassy.
Oh, now you got it.
Next time.
And there's some classes to me feel like it's facilitating something for the world, not just, yay, Laura, not just us personally, but also the world.
And the world.
So if you have a pull to this, please jump on with us.
Yeah.
We'd be really grateful.
The breast class.
The breast class. We almost were thinking of doing a Facebook Live with no shirts on. That might still happen.
Maybe next time, hey?
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.